Hey Animal Crossers, and welcome back to Meowopolis, my Cat City Animal Crossing island where I do not time travel or use any cheats. My plans are to transform this island into a city with only cat villagers, and at this point we have 0 city and 0 cats. If you like Animal Crossing videos, you're in luck because I post daily shorts and weekly videos, so be sure to subscribe and join your fellow Animal Crossers. And if you haven't watched the previous monthly updates, be sure to do so before watching this one. I've officially survived my 3rd month on Meowopolis, so let's go over how it went. I started week 9 knowing it was time to address a serious problem on my island. With no time travel and no way to rapidly pay off my in-game home loans, I was seriously running out of storage space for all of my items. Across Meowopolis Island, piles of stuff and things had begun to accumulate. The need to upgrade my house had become so obvious I could not ignore it anymore. And so began the process of doing whatever I could to make bells in order to pay off my home loan and get these piles of items into storage and off the ground. I decided to focus on fishing to earn bells. I knew I needed to catch as many sharks as possible to make the most money, but on day 1, I started fishing at 8 a.m, so no sharks were spawning and I did not catch any. If you don't know, sharks are not catchable until after 4 p.m, so my first day had very little success in catching any money-making creatures, but I was still able to catch some normal fish and make decent bells while continuing to do some of the normal daily tasks around the island, like picking up and selling shells as I ran into them, assessing fossils to either donate or sell, and buying artwork from Red. The next few days I worked smarter and not harder this time by logging in after 4 p.m. to start fishing. This time around I caught so many sharks, shark after shark after shark. It was so satisfying catching every single one, but nothing compared to the glorious moment when I finally caught a giant whale shark. While I caught all the other sharks pretty fast, I've been desperate to catch one of these all summer long and finally get it into the Meowopolis Museum. One of my major goals for this island is to fill out my entire Critterpedia and complete every sector of my museum. Surprisingly, even though we're only at the start of month 3, I've already caught half of the fish. I still have a long way to go with the bugs and deep sea creatures, but I've made a lot of progress with the fossils, so I feel like I'm doing a good job. On Wednesday, something very exciting happened. While running around the island doing my daily chores, I found Hans with a thought bubble over his head. I could not believe that he actually wanted to move off the island. I wasn't recording when this happened, so I didn't get the part where I emoted with excitement upon hearing his plans to leave the island, but that's okay. The excitement of Hans leaving Meowopolis overshadowed that, and I was just so excited to see if we could get a cat. You might be thinking, wow, how could week 9 get any better? Well, it did when I paid off the rest of my home loan. That's right, catching and selling all the creatures finally paid off because I was able to get some more storage. I set off to clean up all the piles of stuff around my island, excited to clear out the space and have things look a little bit better, but I forgot how quickly storage can fill up. It did not take very long before I was in a similar predicament yet again. Before I was able to pick up all of it, the storage was already full, so yeah, it looks like next week I'll be paying off another house loan. I finished off this week though by saying goodbye to Hans, and to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna miss him. I was so disappointed when I found out he was my first campsite villager, so I was pretty happy that he was leaving, and now I'm so excited for week 10 because it's gonna start with an epic villager hunt. I've been dreaming of finding a cat villager for my island more often now than before, thanks to today's sponsor, Manta Sleep. Yeah, I've been getting so much more rest ever since I started using this cute sunset pink Manta Silk sleep mask. I've been wearing this mask almost every night since I got it. Not only does it help block out the light and keep me asleep longer, but it's also helped me fall asleep way faster. I have a bad habit of scrolling on my phone in bed at night, mostly reading your comments, and it keeps me up way later than I want to admit, but with my Manta Sleep mask, I've been falling asleep way faster these days with no distractions. My partner's been using the Manta Pro mask every night too, and as a side sleeper, he loves how comfortable the eye cups are. They're shaped so nothing presses on his eyes, and both of our Manta Sleep masks are adjustable, super comfy, and they come with earplugs and a carrying case for easy travel. If you want to check out Manta Sleep and maybe try a mask for yourself, you can visit mantasleep.com and use my code TIGER for 10% off. Thank you again to Manta Sleep for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. We are 10 weeks into this Cat City island and have not found a single cat villager yet. And now that Hans has officially moved away from Meowopolis, we started week 10 off with an open plot. I put together a measly 10 tickets for a villager hunt. You may remember the short that I made about this villager hunt a while back, and I guess you can probably tell by my lack of excitement that we did not find a cat villager. I ended up inviting none of the villagers that we ran into, and instead I let the plot autofill, and we ended up with Colton moving onto the island. That means we now now have 2 horse villagers on the island, and I'm starting to wonder if this should have been named Neopolis with a farm core theme. In other news, this weekend was my island's very first bug off. At some point in 2021, I kind of left behind the events in Animal Crossing as I became more interested in time traveling and decorating my islands in like a sandbox style gameplay rather than playing the game like I am now with no cheats. So it's been several years since I played a bug off event, and I was excited to be reminded of the event gameplay and to see what prizes I could get. My villagers looked so cute during this event too, since they walked around with their nets and pretended to participate. I wish they could actually participate though. They can't catch anything for real, which makes the event feel a little lonely because I'm the only one actually catching anything. I think you can invite your friends to your island to play the event with you, but as a solo player, you're all alone. I did have fun catching bugs during the time trials though, and I was able to take it very seriously and unlock a ton of cute prizes like this butterfly wallpaper and an amazing bag. I wanted to work on designing my island a bit this week too. You might remember the progress we've made so far. It's nothing too fancy, just a little road starting at the entrance and leading to my plaza. This week I just wanted to expand on that a little bit more. There were a lot of things in the way though, including 3 houses, so I got to work on moving those out of this area. Since I had to move 1 house per day, it took a few days to get everything cleared out. I really forgot how slow things move when you don't play with time travel, but honestly it makes everything feel a little bit more satisfying since it takes more time and effort. I moved both Scoot and Chino's houses to the beaches, which won't be permanent, but I wanted them out of the way as I plan my island's layout, and I placed my house right here at the entrance, a little to the left from my airport's walkway. I thought having my house right here would make for a unique entrance, and it also would be convenient for me since it's where the game drops you in every day. Anyway, after moving all of those buildings, I woke up early on the last morning of the week, which happened to be during a rainstorm, to get to work on laying out the path. My plan was to expand this sidewalk that I started at the entrance area and bring it back to meet with another horizontal road. This road is going to be really short and lead to the river, where I wanted to add some stepping stones to allow access across, or I might add a bridge here instead. We'll see what happens. The other side leads to the plaza, and I added another small walkway coming off the road leading to this part of the river, where I'll probably add another bridge. I do want to eventually add some terraforming to my island, I swear. I know it's kind of flat right now. I'm planning to add some cool shapes and stuff to my island though, to make the layout more on theme with the Cat City vibes. To finish off this area, I added a few trees, and that's all that I ended up having time for this week as far as island designing. Other than that, it was the beginning of July, so there were some new critters out, especially bugs, that I made sure to catch when I got the chance. I kept up with my island's daily chores, and overall, I was feeling optimistic about the coming weeks, even if there was no sign of any cat villagers yet. While I might not have any cats on my island, I do have 5 cats in real life. I feel like I haven't introduced them in a while, and they are the inspiration behind Meowopolis, so I feel like you should meet them. Starting week 11, I knew I wanted to pay off this house loan. If you remember in week 9, despite upgrading my house and removing so many items from all the piles, the storage filled up literally the same day, and I was not even able to clear out everything. And the piles have still been stacking up, y'all. With it being summer, sharks are a great way to easily earn bells, so I made the goal of logging in later every day this week to fish for them, and I hope to pay at least 50,000 bells to my home loan each day. So much of this week was spent grinding it out, catching shark after shark, and working towards the next house upgrade, yet again. There was a campsite visitor earlier in the week, and I made the mistake of hyping myself up for a cat villager. I was just thinking that it's halfway through month 3 and we've run into so many villagers during our gameplay, it would only make sense that we're really close to running into a cat. So I thought there was a really good chance, but when I checked the campsite tent, it was just Murphy. So another bust this week. I'm not even being picky about which cats I want on this island. I would literally take any of the cat villagers in the game. I mean, if I had to choose, I would definitely be quick to pick Raymond or Kabuki. This was another great week for my Critterpedia since I was catching so much stuff with it being July. One of the bugs I caught was this flea that was on Savannah. She was just singing in the plaza with fleas jumping all over her. It was honestly really funny. Fishing is my favorite thing to do in the game, but I have been neglecting my collection of the deep sea creatures that you can catch while diving. I just don't enjoy diving in the game really, and a lot of you have recommended in my comment sections to dive for bells. Some of you even suggested it would help me earn more bells faster than fishing, and maybe that's a little true, but not enough to keep me from choosing fishing every time because genuinely I find it so fun. Don't think I neglected island design this week. I actually did make a few cute changes to Meowopolis. I added a Meow Meow bus to the island's entrance, spruced up my front yard with some different furniture items, created this casual seating spot here, and did some landscaping around all the roads that we've got going so far. I was really excited for these little changes. It made the entrance area feel a lot more cozy, and I just love the vibe of the island so far. I think it's so cute. The sharks were biting throughout the week, and I was able to earn quite a bit of bells just as I had hoped for, but by the end of the week, I still owed 500,000 bells for the next house upgrade. I guess we'll just have to keep working on it. As you can probably guess, week 12 marked another week of trying to solve the storage problem and earn bells to pay off my house loan so I could remove all of these piles of items. I spent so many days this month fishing. I bet you're tired of me talking about it. After doing so much of it, I even decided to give diving a try. Yes, even after I said I don't like it. I'm not a diving type of girl, but I thought why not just give it a try? I'm desperate to pay off my loans anyway. I quickly found that diving was just how I remembered. So boring for me. I love the idea of the feature, but I got bored pretty quickly since the water out here is mostly empty and there's just not much going on. I don't know, at least when I'm fishing I can run around my island, see all my stuff and all my villagers. So yeah, I returned to fishing after I sold a few inventories full of deep sea creatures, and it ended up working out great because CJ visited my island on Wednesday. This meant I was able to sell all my fish for a higher price than what Timmy and Tommy usually purchase them for, and I made a lot of progress on my loan, but I still didn't get enough to pay it off completely. So yeah, I guess this really is slow-paced gaming. I love it though. While I continued to do my daily chores and normal routines on Meowopolis, I decided to try to talk to some of my villagers more this week. I tend to neglect this part of the gameplay if I'm not careful, so I'm trying to remember to make an effort to actually engage with the villagers. And yeah, despite my good heart and best intentions, Naomi was mean to me. I got scared and gave up pretty fast after that, and I thought maybe we can just try again next week. Later in the week, I found Patty with a thought bubble over her head, and I got so excited because if she moved out, then we would have another chance at finding our very first cat villager before month 3 ends. But when I spoke to her, she was just interested in hanging out. I know. I should have been happy that Patty was a friendly cow and just wanted to have fun, especially after my talk with Naomi earlier in the week, but I was just so anxious about finding a cat villager, I was not wanting to hang out. I logged back in on Friday morning to see if anything interesting was happening before the end of the week and the start of next month, and I was completely shocked to see Scoot with a thought bubble over his head. Patty may have fooled me, but Scoot came to the rescue because he actually wanted to move out, and of course I said yes. I was so excited. This meant I needed to start preparing for a villager hunt by getting as many Nook miles as I could. I only had 11,000 to start, and I did not want a repeat of my last villager hunt where I only had 10 tickets and had to go with autofilling. The start of next month should be exciting, and if we're lucky, we may be able to find our very first cat villager soon. If you've been keeping up with the short form version of this series, you might be past what was shown in today's video, but don't worry, the month 4 and 5 long videos should be coming up pretty soon after this, so we'll be all caught up. Thank you for tuning in to see what happened on Meowopolis during month 3. Be sure to subscribe and leave a like if you're excited for the next episode and to see what happens in month 4. Thank you for watching, and a special thank you to our channel members for their extra support, which means so much and helps out the channel. I've just made the leap to go full-time with creating videos again, so I appreciate any support during this time. Yes, this means that there will be more uploads and some live streams hopefully coming very soon. Stay tuned. I will see you next time. Bye!